listening to the best radio station on the planet.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. We're going out Sunday morning live. And we have Brian Barrot. He's coming in from Goa. Morning, Brian. How are you?
Hi, how you doing, Chris? Lovely to speak to you again. I must say you sound a little bit tired.
I didn't sleep all night. My son woke me up. There we are. One of those things. How are you doing out in Goa? Is it good?
Yeah, it's really good. Obviously, working and studying. I'm working on a new app. I've also given out another article, so hopefully that'll be picked up. So yeah, everything's really, really cool. Obviously, I work here spiritually as well, so everything is really good. What about
Oh,
yourself?
brilliant. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. You don't miss Ukraine and you're not going back?
Well, no, I mean, essentially, I'm British. I mean, but I mean, at the moment, I don't think Ukraine is the hot place to be, really. Okay.
I
Sorry
know, I
about
know.
that. Yeah, unfortunately, because I love the place. It's beautiful, but I don't think it's the wise choice at the moment.
I know Putin's made it horrid. Over to Julia. Hi, Julia. Julia is our
Hey.
expert in tarot, and we're going to be talking to her today. Sorry, do you just call yourself Julia or sorry? Oh, Chapel. Yes. Sorry, Julia Chapel, and you can find
Yeah,
her on Facebook,
yeah.
Chapple.
Spelled like an apple.
Yes. Can you tell me, Julia, how you came to be a tarot expert and, your journey into tarot?
Well, first of all, I don't think any of us are experts at anything. But having said that, I'm honored that you say such nice things. Originally, I grew up in Italy, and the very first time I came across the tarot was when I was living in Florence, and I was about 17, and I was living with a friend, um, and something happened, and all of a sudden she had this weird feeling that the house was impregnated with bad spirits, and so she was determined to do something about it, and she was kind of my surrogate mother in a way, and so she went off and she found these two little old Italian ladies who literally look like witches. I mean, in a positive way, but they literally, like, they would have been my age. They were 60, 70 at the time. And they came in and they did their work, and it seemed to clear the energy up. And then I went over to their house and I asked for a reading. And that's when I was first introduced to Tarot de Marseille, or tarot cards. And that reading was spot on, like right to today, just about. And that just is just like, wow, this is amazing stuff. But at the time, I didn't buy a deck, and I was amazed, but I didn't get involved with tarot. But what right into the I Ching, to the point where I made my yarrow sticks, and I have like heaps of books that I kind of wrote with all my experiences. When I left Europe, I traveled around India, and the I Ching. So that was my very first kind of foray into. Then I discovered Tai Chi and Qigong, and I couldn't believe they were actually connected. So for quite a few years, my focus was on that kind of sortilege, and also building up my internal energy. And then probably about 15 years ago, or then I had, like, I grew kids up, and we bought a farm, and, I did the mother thing, and we worked full time, and we built a rock house, and, I was really busy. So I wasn't really doing tarot. I was kind of doing more kitchen magic, and using my herbs in my food, to bring forth, things that, to make my life better, and my kids' life better, and my family life better. And so then, once the kids kind of grew up, I kind of picked up an old tarot deck, the Rider Waite deck. And, like, I'm kind of looking at this deck, and I've got it in my hand here, and it never resonated, to be honest with you, Christine. Like, for me, and I've never belonged to any OTO group. I've never had, like, I don't have never had anything to do with Aleister Crowley or anything like that. I'm a completely individual human being. And so I started playing around with this deck, but it just didn't resonate for me at all. And then all of a sudden I met I came across Tarot de Marseille again, and then I picked up this deck. Yeah, I'm here. You disappeared. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it just, I don't know what happened. It just went off.
I know.
Maybe they didn't like you speaking about the Rider-Waite not resonating. I don't know. You know.
So do carry on, Julia. Carry on with your story.
Okay. Okay. So anyway, so then I picked up this Tarot de Marseille, and right away it like made so much sense. But deep down inside, as I was saying earlier, deep down inside, I've always had this want to read playing cards because they're simple, they're basic, straightforward, like just straight, no pretty pictures, and that's kind of what put me off the Thoth deck, the Rider-Waite deck. Too many pictures. I'm an artist. Too many pictures do my head in. I like simplicity for reading.
Yeah, but you're an artist, Julia. Surely you must be drawn to pictures, no?
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. Not when I got to read. That's the problem. Okay. It complicates my brain.
All right.
If that makes any sense.
No, not really, but because you're a brilliant artist, I thought you'd be like, yeah, pictures. No?
So you prefer the Rider-Waite deck?
No, I prefer playing cards and Tarot de Marseille. That's what
Tarot de Marseille. Okay.
Yeah. And Tarot de Marseille is really similar to playing cards. So when you initially Chinese invented dominoes, which then they actually made because they were the first to do. So then, like playing cards really, a lot of people, and you and I, Brian, have had this little discussion about that, and this people think that the Rider-Waite deck is the original deck, but it's not. The actual original deck is playing cards, and the Tarot de Marseille comes from playing cards. So when you look at the playing cards and compare them to the tarot, they have exactly the same, except for that in the Tarot de Marseille there's the knight, right? So there's an extra person, and in playing cards you just have Jack, King, Queen, and then Ace up to 10. Same with Tarot de Marseille, exactly. You have cups, and you have swords, you have clubs, and you have hearts, exactly like playing cards. So
I didn't know that tarot came from playing cards. So did somebody decide to do a divination using playing cards? Where did that come from?
No, I think it was during the when there was the what was it, when they ran off to Turkey, and then Alexander the Great and all that, like they had like playing cards were easy to transport, and they were currency as well in some ways, and as well as that, like the ace of spades used because playing cards, like people in Italy especially, they try to ban them because they realized people were using them for gambling and were using for playing, and they didn't think that was right. So they they used the ace of spades as with a stamp on it, and if you bought a deck and you did not pay the tax, you would not get the ace of spades. Therefore, you wouldn't have the full deck. So there's a lot of politics involved when you look back in history. And then from that, which was designed, I've got one here. It's designed like with gold leaf, and it was designed by this husband for his wife. And then after that, there was like heaps of different tarot decks. So I'll just go online. Okay, so we got playing cards here. This is my favorite deck. This here, I just love it. It's simple, basic, 3-card reading. You can tell a story. Like literally, it's that simple. And then here, and then the Tarot de Marseille. You've got the three of swords, right? You've got the Ace of Clubs. Yeah. It's so similar to playing cards, right? This one's down. You've got here the two of swords, right? So if you look at playing cards, it's exactly the same. And you have this would be equivalent to the Jack, right? And then the valet is the knight. So you don't have that in playing cards, but you have the Jack, which is
what about the Visconti set? What does that look like?
The Visconti. Okay, let me see. I should have brought it out. You talk amongst yourself for a sec whilst I find it. There. I've got everything kind of sitting. It's like got gold. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Hey, lucky I'm semi-organized. It's always handy to be semi-organized. There you go. So this is the Visconti deck.
Oh wow!
Right. So that's the fool.
No, I want to see Julia. Oh, that's pretty. What do the others look like?
Okay. And then this one here is the there.
Oh, they're pretty, aren't they?
Yeah. And then you've got the page.
All right.
The pages wonders and they're younger ones and they're equal to the jack.
Right.
And so the difference between playing cards and Tarot de Marseille is the Tarot de Marseille has a knight, whereas in playing cards you only have a jack, king, and queen. Okay, and here's the lovers.
Oh, that's really lovely. What about the minor arcana? What does that look like?
Right. Okay, so we'll go to mine. Oh, okay. So this is the four of coins.
Oh, it's jolly pretty.
Yeah, and then we've got the six. Can't even count. Actually, no, they could be swords. No, oops, sorry, my mistake. There's those. Yeah. Sorry. And then the magician. So obviously he doesn't
really pretty pack.
But I suppose in some ways you could also use the Joker as the magician in the playing cards if you wanted to. You know,
what I find it's very hard to learn what's what. You could lay down swords, and then you think, oh, what does that mean again? I forgot.
This is exactly where you have to undo or expect the. Okay, less is more. Like so, you know. And I've got this the best teacher I've ever had called Camelia Elias. And she's written several books, and I've studied under her for quite a long time. And she said she has this kind of thing like read like the devil. So, you know, like I've got a bunch of little white books I have never even opened because it's because like if you think about it, like you know, someone asks. I mean, first of all, when I read cards for people, I always say I don't read the future. I'm just going to help you at a crossroads. You know, something, you know, you come to me and you're stuck with something and you come to me and ask me, how can I get unstuck? Then that's where my job, right? And then, so for instance, with these ones, and the same with the playing cards, like it's not so much have meaning, but they've got to have context. So it depends on the question, you know, and then like when you have a look at, for instance, I don't know, you have a look at this knight, right? Okay, so if he's, you know, if you've got, let's say, I don't know, let's just sake of example, you've got this first, this second, and that third, right? So these are, turns out they're both aces. So it's like, I would read that is that the knight has a bunch of stuff that he loves doing, that he needs to get on his horse and get moving to start this new project. Because and coins, if you think about coins, you touch coins, you handle coins take a long time to make because they need to be, or diamonds as well, because diamonds and coins are the same thing, right? In a plane. So you think of a diamond, it's been in the ground for so long, right? And it's taken that much to make it worth that much. So that's the thing, right? And also like communication with people, like, you know, you share coins or you exchange coins. So that's how I read coins, right? And also in context with the question, which is really important because, you know, like so many people, they have, well, this means that, and that means that, and that means that, and that means that. But what happens if someone asks you a question and none of those things that you've learned by heart for the last 3 years have anything to do with the question? So you have to kind of paint the picture as you're going. And that's why I like to read playing cards and Marseille, because the picture is in your head, not in the picture. See what I mean?
See. So say, Julia, if I said to you, I'm having trouble working out what career I need to do and to go forward, and because money's a problem. If you turn some cards over that, what would you say to me?
Well, inside that upside down. My table's only very small. So I'll use play because it's the same. Okay, so your question is you're stuck in a rut, yeah?
Yeah, and financially it's very bad, and I don't know what job to do or what career to do to move forward.
or what direction to go. See what can come up. My energy field in them, my chi energy field in them, and then I blow 3 times to give them my energy, my breath, my chi, myself.
How do they know to answer my question, though?
Well, I'm going to answer it right now, and let's see what it is.
But how do the cards know, or is it you doing it?
It's me doing it. So I'm just going to lay through 3 cards. 1. Okay, so you got 10 diamonds. So 10 usually means you've come to the end of something. Like 10, you've accomplished something, right? Like what comes after 10? 1, right? So you've gone 1, 2, 3, we're at 10. So you've done all this hard work. You're at 10. You've achieved this point, and now you're kind of going like, well, what the heck am I going to do now? And the next card is the King of Spades. So spades, what do you use spades for?
Digging.
Right, exactly. So what you need to do in this case, I'm going to throw another couple of cards. What you need to do is to dig deep into what it is that you just finished and find some kind of a little spark that will move you forward in a magical way. And 7 often is an uncomfortable number, but if you think about it, like 5 is your body. I always kind of think of 5, and then the 2. Now, a lot of times 5 is prickly, so you're having a hard time with this idea, right? Like you've had enough. You know, you need to dig. Maybe you've already dug and you can't find anything. You don't know where to go. So then this kind of uncomfortable card comes up. So then I'll throw another card to see what it is that's uncomfortable. And it is kind of like a round number. So I think it comes back to bringing whatever it was that you did, maybe notch it back again and think about another way of doing the same thing, but in a different way.
Oh, I see. What does diamonds mean?
Coins.
Pentacles, Chris.
Like
Pentacles.
Pentacles, yeah. And what do you do with coins? You interact, you know what I mean? You mix, you spend money, you go and buy something, or you make a deal with someone, or you make a deal with yourself. Like it's about, I always kind of connect coins to communication. So like if you think about it, first one was 10. You kind of come to the end of your tether. The second one, I think this is the right way for you because it's a bit hard upside down, inside out on Zoom. The second is you've got to pull that kind of not masculine, but like you got to dig deep and find out what it is that actually started you this project, which might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. You might get a bit lost in the process, right? Yeah. But I think in the end, it's just you need to just look at it in a different way.
Right. Is
right?
that to do with? Do you think it's to do with counseling people, which I'm studying, or to do with book writing?
Counseling kind of makes sense in a way because it's about communicating.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? Like when you counsel people, you're communicating with people.
Right.
So maybe your way is to and if you think about like 2 4s together, 2 4s, like 4, when you see a 4, it's always like a balance. It's like a house has got 4 walls, a chair's got 4 chairs, 4 legs. So stability. So you got 2 lots of stability, right? So I think what you need to do in this, or not need to do, or what you could think about doing, is just like rethinking this count and make that work for you.
Oh, I see.
Does that make any sense?
Any idea what the niche might be?
Well, that's for you to find.
I see. I must say I'm getting a bit disconcerted with counseling because it doesn't involve spiritual.
You could turn it around. Maybe that's what you need to find in your niche.
Right.
Because
What you mean? Sorry, carry on.
So go on.
So what were you going to say, Julia?
Well, I was going to say, I mean, counseling, I mean, nowadays, so many people that need counseling, it's like next level.
Mm,
So, and I think maybe if you could kind of weave,
mm.
like, yeah, so maybe what you could think about is weaving your spiritual knowledge into your counseling.
Right, right. Yeah, we're not taught that in college. It's very much, I mean, the teacher said there was someone that came in and said there had been, so the class
Yeah,
is
no, yeah,
very,
you don't say that anything to her. I mean, I don't know what you're doing, but if you know, when you go to a class and you learn from somebody, they're going to obviously teach you a bunch of stuff, right? But then you can take that information and use it the best way that you know in your way. You're not going to
oh, I
parrot.
see.
Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that, and it's I think you need to dig down deep and find that magic so that it works for you and equally for everybody. For you, sorry, wrong one. Here, 8. For you and the other people. So you got 2 fours, 2 stabilities, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's interesting. How do you, when you're reading the cards? I mean, I've been reading them for a long time now,
Yeah.
and I still get like I put down swords and I think, oh, what does that mean? Even when I'm using a pack that's got a little picture, I still
Yeah.
think, oh, what does swords mean again? And you have to reach for a book. And if you're reading
Yeah,
somebody,
nah, forget the book. Throw the book away. Have a
right?
look at the picture. What is the dude doing? Like he's digging. Like, or what is the card? What is it? In what context is it? What is the card before? What is the card after?
Like I might get something like Seven of Swords, and I might think, what the hell does Seven of
Yeah, yeah,
Swords
but
mean?
well, it depends what was before and after.
Right. So
And
say
usually
so
sevens are kind of yucky numbers, but they're a means to an end.
say I got an ace before that or something like that. I would still not
Yeah.
know what the whole thing means
So wait, ace of
because
what?
Ace of Hearts,
Okay, ace of hearts, and then what was it? Seven of
Seven of
swords,
Swords, yeah,
and what?
wands.
Uh-huh. Okay, so wands you use, wands are you use to build things with because they're wood.
Right.
Also, wands, what you think of trees, right? And they reach out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like networking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe ace, ace is a beginning, right, of
Mm-hmm.
something, and then the seven of swords could be and then what was the last card again? The hearts. What was it? How many
It
hearts?
it was one, wasn't it?
Okay, so you had ace of hearts, 7 of swords, and then ace of what was it? I should have
Five of
written it.
wands. Five of
Five of
wands.
wands. Okay, so five. I always look at five. We have a head, 2 arms, 2 legs. That's five. So that I always look at five as us people, humans, right? So in this case, it's like the ace of hearts is something that you really love doing, but you're having a problem and you need to somehow work your way through so that you can get to working with the wands. And wands are about working. Wands are about you know um, creating something. That you build houses with wood. You know what I mean? Like you chop wood and you make a fire to heat you up.
Hmm.
So it's like a work. So
And
yeah,
what
generally,
what else what are swords? What do they
well,
mean?
usually digging. Well, it depends. Like a lot of times, they're magical too. So if you're going to ask for a magical question and get off out, put it out,
Quick question, what do they
and
mean then?
because you do it towards you. Well, then it would be in the context of, in that case, it would be, well, you need to use your magic
Right.
to make the work happen. The ace of hearts, something that you love doing, you need to use your magic to get the work working for you.
Right, right. And say you're a newbie starting out, it's quite hard to remember the meanings without going, no?
Now, the minute you remember, try and forget it. Like this is why I love Camille Elias, because she teaches you to just see and look at the cards, look at what are the people doing? What direction are they facing? What, where are their legs going? Is one going to the left, one going to the right? And so okay, so if both feet are going in opposite directions, then let's see if I can find an example. Then clearly, like, here's a perfect example here. Okay, so you've got this little page of swords I happen to have, and you've got one leg going that way, one leg going that way. He's shielding himself, and he's got but he's just, does he look? How does he look? He looks uncertain. Right? So that's what you want to look at. You want to look at the body language. It's all about body language in cards. Like even, okay, so here, this one here, this swords, I'm pulling out a lot of swords here. This guy here, he's like ready to go. He's like, yep, got the shit sorted. I'm going. I'm just going to go. I'm going to go and take that, whatever it is, the card after and the card before,
Oh, I see. And which deck is that, Julia?
Which deck?
Yeah, that you're holding up.
Oh, jeez. Oh, shit. That's a good question because I've had them for so long. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, I just had it in my hand. It's usually written in the. Oh, here we go. It's this one here. What's it called? Hang on, I'll just read it. The Jean Noblet deck.
Is that the Marseille?
Yeah, and there's several versions of the Tarot de Marseille. This is my favorite. But and also, like, have a look at this dude. Like, here we got the King of Cups. Okay, now have a look at him. Like he wants to jump up, but he doesn't really. Like, his heart is in the past. He's essentially in the past, but he feels like he needs to move that way because he's looking that way. So that's when you look at the body language.
Oh, cool. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? And do you believe that it works? Why do you believe that spirit can use it to inform us?
I mean, as I say to people, I don't read for telling the future. I just lay the cards down and tell the story. That's all I have. And if it works with people, that's great. And that's why, like, reading, in person is way better because you can see the person's body language and they might feel uncomfortable. And so they could then say something, you lay another card. So you've got like several ways of laying the cards out. So you've got, like, my favorite is a tirage en ligne, which is like, tirage en ligne, pulling in a line. So you can just go on, and then what you're basically doing is telling a story, or you can do like a 5 card yes and no. So you've got like 3 cards like I've just done before, and then you go yes for above and no from below. So there's different ways that you can, but it's essentially, for me, like, as I said, I threw the little white book away because it just confused me. I'm not real good at learning things by rote, and I don't think that it's for people, asking a question and then I go, oh yes, but this means that and that means that. Like, that's got to be that way. It's like, no, the life's flexible. You know what I mean? Like, everything, life is flexible. We have to go with the flow.
Yes. And do you think that? Sorry, Brian.
Sorry, Chris. I've got to interrupt. We've got less than 1.5 minutes left.
Okay.
Julia, maybe we'll have to do another show, but
yeah,
I wanted to see your deck because you've just painted one.
Real quick, yeah, I did. Hang on, where did I put it?
Oh wow, that's cool.
Confusion. I know. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So that's the back. It's a sigil, as you know. I love sigils. So that's it's called The Power of Color, and I've got it here. So this. If you want to have a look at it, I'll send you a link. And I'm finding that the plastic cover is too expensive, so I'm about to tomorrow actually go and get a cheaper version, just in a cling wrap, not cling wrap, whatever it's called, wrap. So it's only $20. But yeah, these are all like, and I've got like 3 more decks under my belt that I'm about to publish, but this one is this one here. But if you want to have a look at it, you can look at it card by card, If I'll send you a link, Christine, and then press
Thank
on
you.
it,
It's
and
very
then
pretty.
have a little look.
Okay, we're gonna have to finish. We've got less than a minute, but it was brilliant talking to you, Julia.
Yeah. Oh,
Really,
brilliant
really
talking to
was.
you. Lovely meeting you, Christine, and we shall have more
Yes, and
conversations.
you. I hope you'll come back very
I
soon.
will.
to
I will.
feature.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. I'll be back. I feel so much better now. You wouldn't believe how much you've cheered me up. Wonderful. Thank you.